Hello everyone, this is my third video, so I thought I would call this one Confessions and a little discussion about needles. And of course there's the update on the tall guys that I've been working on. I didn't get a lot of time to stitch this week, so here's where I am. So I've been working on the border. Colors don't show up very well here, but you can see the border. The men are finished, and I've got the border work that I'm working on now. I'll tell you, I think the thing that drives me crazy about this is when I'm working on the pattern, this pattern here is very similar to the pattern down in the border. So, or this one is similar to this one, and I end up, my eyes moving. So I keep forgetting to get, I usually use Post-it notes to keep my place, but I keep forgetting to get my Post-it notes to help me figure that out as to where I am and what I'm working on, and so I don't get lost, because I spent a lot of time ripping out, which is just so totally annoying. I also wanted to say that I did put this up for framing for the Super Bowl Sunday sale, and I have to say I have hyperventilated a little bit this week in finding out that Keepsakes is shutting down its framing business. I went in this Saturday and I begged Barb Hills about how I could help, if I could come in and get some volunteers to come in on a Saturday to cut frames so Joe wouldn't have to worry about that, but she didn't seem to be buying that. She is working on an alternative, but still my heart is breaking that they won't be doing the framing. My confessions I thought I would start with are the things that I have worked on in this past year that I've completed, that I haven't, actually some of these are a year and a half, that I have not put in for update or framing, for finishing basically. This was a fun one that I'm embarrassed to say I finished last year and got framed at the beginning of this year and forgot to put it up. So I love this, I think it's very cute. It's a Barbara Anna design, and it's published by Creative Poppy. So that was kind of a fun one. I worked really hard on this one this year. I really love the Satsuma Street. This is the look of it here. I decided actually to make it lengthwise, and I was going to get it framed, but I just didn't. Where do I have it? So here's what it looks like. It's really big. But that one was a lot of fun to stitch. I love the colors. So I told you before, I think that the colors are the ones that get me, and this is kind of fun. I figured someday my daughter might like this because she's less traditional and more vibrant colors, I think, in the way that she likes to decorate. About a year or two ago, I completed this one. I love the Cricut collections, and those are so easy to stitch, and they're so much fun. I had gotten a piece of fabric in the yellow, and I really liked stitching on the yellow, but unfortunately, it was a little small, and I figured it out when I was halfway through. So you'll see it this Easter. I ended up having it made into a little pillow roll, so that worked out really well. But that made me complete a couple others. So there's Autumn. And I thought I had another one in here. Yes, this was the one I did right after the Easter one. And this was Christmas, Merry Christmas. That one was a lot of fun. I did Christmas cookies as well, and I actually did that a couple of years ago and got that framed, and that goes up in my kitchen when I'm in the middle of Christmas, but I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I also finished, I tried to find this one in terms of whose it was. This is the ones that, I don't think it's a Lizzie Kate. I'm not sure though. It was where a different one comes out every week, and that was a lot of fun to stitch. So I got that one finished. Of course, I don't have a place for it, so I don't have a plan to get it finished, but I really enjoyed it. And then I got an Easter kick. I like a lot of shepherd's bush. So I did this one, and I did this one. I like working with that silk yarn, and I also worked with the flag box and a couple others. So here's those that are finished. There's the Tisket Tasket. I haven't put the buttons on that one. I'm not sure if I will or not. And then There was a little basket on one of them from Shepherd's Bush. And then Egg Hunt was another one that was kind of fun to put together. And then here is the one with the hearts. I like that one a lot. I'll probably get that one framed for sure for the with the Super Bowl sale coming up here. Last year, I also found this, and I really, really liked it. It's called Winter Friends. It's by Art to Heart. And I finished that one. Of course, I haven't gotten it framed either, but there it is. Very cute. I really like the snowmen. I like when they're crazy eyes, and that was a quick and easy one to stitch. And I also did one of those mystery samplers. I think that was a Lizzie Kate as well. I don't remember if that was last year or the year before. So these are just sitting in my closet, feeling very sad and lonely. Oh, here's the flag one. Oops, turned out really well. And again, this one was a fast stitch. You know, that's a do that overnight kind of thing. One other thing I stumbled on in this a couple years ago were these by Bent Creek. I don't know if anybody's done these mantle ones, but I started with a snowman mantle one, and I did a no, it was a Halloween one. And I find that I don't have enough for autumn and especially Thanksgiving. There's stuff, but you know, I don't like the really primitive things. So this is the one I completed, and I'll probably have to bring this one up since they're stopping their framing and have that done for the Super Bowl. And that's what it looks like. So that one, it's such a big stitch count on this fabric, so it makes it really fast. And what I like about these kits are a couple things. They give you all of this thread, and it's the larger thread. And they usually bring these out in 3 pieces unless you get one after it's all been out, of course. So you don't really know what it's all going to look like, but it's a lot of fun. And they also really deliver it in these really nice project bags. So to me, it's kind of worth it to do those. So I think that's all I have in terms of things that I've stitched and that are just stuck away in a closet, in my embarrassing stash closet that maybe someday I'll show you. But I did find as I was going through that, some of the threads from some of the from the Satsumi project, and I didn't have to buy some thread, so I'm going to have to get better at that. One thing that I always kind of mess around with are needles. I like the tapestry needles that tend to be rounded on the end, but I get particular, you know, you get a needle that you like or you don't like, and I don't like it. Sometimes I think the tapestry needles, maybe I'm not looking close enough. This says round end, but some of them are sharp for tapestry, and that's fine if I've got a really, really tough, tight fabric. I don't want to split the linen, but sometimes it makes it hard to get through if you're really, really tough, so that having that kind of needle is helpful. I also find that I like to use these little Brighton sun case boxes. I don't know if you like Brighton, but I love Brighton jewelry, and I was able to get one of the ladies when I bought some gifts for my mom to give me one of these boxes so I could use it for my needles. So it's my needle stash collection, and sometimes I keep like little scissors in there. But anyway, I went out and I bought these needles because, you know, they looked kind of pretty, and some of the problem sometimes is the eye. I had one heck of a time trying to thread this. It made me crazy because it was so, I don't know, it was just difficult to thread, so I didn't like that. I did make an investment in the gold needle. So if you've seen these, the little gold needle, I was interested in this because I think the little short needle is helpful in keeping the length of yarn that you have, so you don't have to waste so much yarn at the end when you get really close to that last stitch. So I do like that. I think this is really smooth to go through the fabric, and it's very easy to thread. You know, and that eye doesn't look any different than the other eye. I don't know what makes this eye so difficult to thread, but it was driving me crazy. So I'm very unhappy that I bought these. But what I found out with these is if I have to tear out, think to the Three Kings, I have a lot of tearing out that I've had to do when I misread my chart. It's too short and I end up dropping it or flipping it. So Love it, but I would probably switch to something else if I were having to rip out. So I think that's all I have for you this week. Hopefully that's been helpful. I'd love your comments on any particular kinds of needles that you like to buy and that you've had success with. I did buy something this weekend when I stopped by Keepsakes. It's from Just Another Button Company, so I have to get my little glue gun out. But I have a little clock by where I stitch, and it's got a fabric around the top, and I end up sticking my needles in there. I think this will be a little bit more attractive and will just look better sitting next to the clock instead of sticking it in my clock, which probably looks tacky. So it's cute because it's got these little button needles in it, which you would expect from Just Another Button Company. This one's called Walk in the Woods. It's called a spool keep. Assembly with glue and add pins. So I'm looking forward to that. Hope you're having a great week, and I will be talking to you all soon. Thanks.